Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jeff from Today's Craftsman, and this week we have a video brought to you by Enduro. We're going to be looking at a new product from Enduro. That is the Deep Base Undercoat. So you've seen us on the channel use the white undercoat. This is now a dark, deep base that's tintable for dark colors, which is something that I personally have been looking for. So I'm excited to try this. And we're going to be using the 2K version of the tintable clear polyurethane this week. Because we're painting an exterior door. So this has actually been tinted to the color that we're spraying, which is charcoal slate. The normal white undercoat cannot be tinted to a dark color like that. You can tint to a pastel, but not a dark color. So this is something that I've been looking for as I've been spraying more and more dark colors, a dark primer to help with getting that dark coverage so that you don't need as many top coats, and if you get a scratch, you're gonna have a dark color, a matching color underneath. We'll mix the primer with a paddle mixer here. You've seen in the past me use these mixing lids. You can use these as well, but we figured it'd be good for you to see what's going on. And with water-based paint, you definitely want to mix on low speed on your drill, and I mix for 2 minutes. So put this in here, get it mixed up. So we're all mixed. I set a timer so that I know that I'm mixing for 2 minutes. If you go just by eye, sometimes you can undermix your paint. So for this primer today, we're going to be using the PPS gun from 3M. And you've seen us use this before. It uses these disposable tip sets. And we'll be using a 2.0 today. Enduro recommends a 1.8 or a 2.0 tip if you're spraying HVLP. This is a very thick primer, and it's 33% solids. It's 53% solids by weight. It's super heavy, so you need a big needle and nozzle set to get this to spray out. So we can set up our cup and a filter and strain our paint. Probably seen these next to the cash register at the paint store or the home center. This is super handy for pouring paint out of a gallon can. It actually, it sort of snaps on or threads onto this rim, and it keeps you from getting paint in between. I've put holes in the rim before, but it still gets all gummed up, and then you end up with a can with a lid that's stuck, or you have dried particles of paint falling into the gallon. So this definitely helps. You have to go slow at the start for sure. Primer's all strained, and we're using a big cup today. Hopefully we get it all done in one cup. Can put our lid on here. Make sure that we're snapped in. Oh, and our top. And attach our gun. Right, we could turn on the booth, we'll purge this of air, and we'll tune our pattern before we start to spray the door. The door is dry and we've scuff sanded it. This primer dries to the touch in 5 to 10 minutes, and you can recoat in 1 hour. So it's been a couple days, but I took 320 and I scuff sanded the whole door. So now we're ready for our top coat, and we're using the 2K Pro Series tintable poly from Enduro. And you might be wondering, what is 2K that we've been talking about? So 2K is a two-part. So we have our paint here, or our coating, and we have the catalyst. So this is actually something that you have to mix prior to using. So we'll take you back to finishing and take you through all the steps. First step, as always with paint, is to mix it. So we can pop our can open here, and we'll mix for 2 minutes again on low speed. You can see the viscosity here, definitely thinner than the undercoat. So we'll give this 2 minutes of a mixing. All right, our 2 minutes is up. We can pull out our mixer. And because this is a 2K paint, we need to mix our paint with our catalyst. So let's see. So we're going to do that in a mixing cup. Now this has ratios to make it easy. We need to mix this 10% by volume. So if we have 10 ounces of finish, we need 1 ounce of catalyst. So this actually has a gradient. So any of these go to that one line, 10% on top of that is right there. All of this information is in the technical data sheet. So I have that pinned up here, and I'll do that when I'm working with a new product. So you can actually get this by scanning the QR code on the can right here, which is actually really handy, something that General Finishes does. But anytime I'm working with a new product, I'll either scan the can or go on the website, print this out, and it gives you all of this information about how much catalyst you need to mix in, your dry times, what size tips. These are really good starting points for you to tune your gun. This material has a 4-hour pot life. So the pot life is how long this will last before it turns solid. That's why it's so durable, because this is actually... overshot my my line there a little bit. That's all right. We'll pour some out. That's what makes a 2K that much stronger, is you're adding this catalyst, which is essentially a hardener. It makes it that much harder, that much stronger, more resistant to heat and chemicals. We have 15 ounces of paint in our cup. That means we need to add 1.5 ounces of catalyst. So I'll pour in the catalyst while mixing, and we'll go up to 16.5 ounces in our cup. All right, we're thoroughly mixed, and we need to let this sit for 15 minutes. Then we'll strain it into our cup and get the gun ready. Our mix finish has rested for 15 minutes, and we're going to strain into a PPS cup. So PPS is really good in this situation because, like we mentioned, after 4 hours, this is going to be rock solid, and you don't want to have to clean that out of a metal cup. So we're straining this just in case we have any solids in there, through this fine mesh filter. All strained, we can cap this off and attach it to the gun. So I'm using the same 2.0 nozzle on the PPS. It's larger than what is recommended, but I know that I can tune down and use this larger nozzle. So let's mask up. We can turn on the booth and get the gun set up. There's our first coat on this door, so we'll let this dry. We can scuff sand, put a second coat on, we'll flip and repeat. So this is the basics of using a 2K paint, and there's definitely a lot of advantages. You have the ability to use it in the exterior application. It's a much stronger finish. It's going to dry a lot harder and be more resistant to wear and tear and chemicals and heat and all of those things. So hopefully this was a good tool for you to learn how to use a 2K paint. Maybe you'll try it in your own shop. If you have any questions about Enduro products or anything else, leave them down below, and we'll see you next week.